Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. In the previous episode, I mentioned events and properties of objects in Visual Basic. In this video, we will take a closer look at both what events are, why we need them, and how to work with object properties. Events in Visual Basic are actions that can occur while your program is running. Examples include starting the program, closing it, clicking a button, or selecting a text field. Most events are simply the program's response to user actions. Of course, we can create programs that run code automatically without user input. But even then, the user still needs to start the program first. Let's return to the example project from last time. Previously, we used the form event called form1load. Let's see what other events are available for the form. To view all possible events, place your cursor inside the form load subroutine. Then open the event list here. From that list, I will select the event called closing. As you can see, Visual Studio automatically added it to our code. Inside this event, let's add a message box. I will type MessageBox.Show, then parentheses, and inside the quotes I will type "Thank you for using my program." Now let's run the program. When it starts, it shows "Hello Trump." That's the response to the form load event. When I close the program, we can see the message, "Thank you for using my program." That's the response to the form closing event. Okay, let's add another event. I will switch to the design view and double click the button. Visual Studio automatically created the event button 1 click. Okay, let's copy this line of code from form load into button 1 click and change the text. Instead of "Hello Trump", I will type "Hello World". Now, when we press the button, the text inside the text box should change. Let's test it. The program is running and I click the button. The text in text box changes. When I close the program, the closing message still appears. Everything works as expected, and the program is handling the events correctly. There is also another way to add events. Here, in the object list, we can see all objects in our program. Let's choose the object T1, that's the text box. Then, in the events list, I will select the click event for this object. Now let's change a property of this text box inside that event. A good one to try is BackColor. So I will type T1, this is the object name, dot BackColor. BackColor, this is a property of that object, equal color.red. Let's run the program again. On startup, the text box shows "Hello Trump". When I click the button, the text changes to "Hello World". And when I click directly on the text box, its background turns red. Very good, the program is reacting correctly to different events. You may have noticed that in code, events are defined with the keyword private sub. Sub stands for subroutine. Each subroutine has a beginning and ends with end sub. In Visual Basic, these are blocks of code, let's say instructions, that the program executes when a specific event occurs. For example, in button 1 click, the code changes text of the text box. This happens when the user clicks button named button 1. We can also create our own subroutines. To make them run, we need to call them. Here is a simple example. I will create a new subroutine called change text. I will copy the code from button 1 click into change text. Now, inside button 1 click, instead of writing the same code again, I will just call change text. If I run the program, nothing changes from the user's perspective. Pressing the button still updates the text box. But in the code, we have separated that functionality into its own subroutine. This way, we can reuse it anywhere else in the program. Instead of repeating large chunks of code, we just call the sub by its name. Now let's talk about the bigger picture. All of our code sits between public class form1 and end class. These lines define the boundaries of the class form1. The class itself is not the window. It's the description of the window. It defines the buttons, input fields, event handlers, and logic. When the program starts, the operating system creates an actual window based on the description. In other words, form1 is the blueprint, and the real window is an instance of that blueprint. That might sound a little abstract, so just remember this. All your subroutines must be inside the class. If you try to put one outside, Visual Studio will show you an error. Finally, let's talk about object properties. Every object you add to a form has its own set of properties. Even the form itself is an object with its own properties. You can change properties either while designing the interface or later through code. As an example, let's change the title of our form. In the text property of form1, I will type test app. That's it for today. I hope this video helped you to understand the basic structure of Visual Basic Code. Thank you for watching my video to the end, and as a little reward, here is an image of what an elephant dog might look like.